The President's announcement to deploy the army to Cape Town comes in the wake of a surge in murders in Cape Town. Dozens of people were shot and killed since the start of the year, and various areas on the Cape Flats, including Philippi East, Kensington and Mitchell's Plain, are struggling with high levels of gang violence and drug abuse. Western Cape Premier Alan Winde welcomed Ramaphosa's announcement on the deployment of the army, but said it was only a short-term intervention to fight crime in the Western Cape.
We have far too few police officers. They do not have the wherewithal to conduct their work properly, the support that they need. And of course, I think the real area that we've been offering support from the city and the province is investigative powers. These must be shared with local police structures, and we want to be playing a part. Vacancies must be filled, crime intelligence must be prioritized, and we need to get convictions.
Winde also reiterated the province's call for the devolution of policing powers to the city of Cape Town and to the Western Cape government.
I must emphasize that the immediate benefit that would flow from the expansion of certain policing powers to the municipal level, specifically in the investigation of gun and gang-related crimes, this would make an immediate difference, and we would definitely see the conviction rate going up, and we continue to offer our support along with the city in getting this power-sharing pilot program going so that we can probably lead into further areas of making sure we bring down crime levels in the communities that need it most across the Western Cape.
Some crime-fighting activists working on the Cape Flats have called for police stations located in areas with high crime rates to be declared disaster zones.
What we're asking the Premier, and we have not even received a formal response from the Premier, but we heard him saying in the news that he will approach the Kokta Minister and he will speak to the Minister of Police, because we say declare state of disaster in the police prisons that is high on crime, the hotspots, because people are desperate.
The Western Cape Provincial Community Police Board has also welcomed the announcement. However, it says that the deployment of the army is not a substitute for effective and professional policing.
We want SAPS to be able to be more capacitated, resourced, and also to ensure that the intelligence as well as the investigation capacity of SAPS is being improved.
Residents from various areas across the Cape Flats also shared their views on Ramaphosa's announcement about the deployment of the army to their communities.
I think it's a very good idea that the army is being deployed because of the high crime rate that's happening now in the Western Cape especially. And the people need to feel safe. These days you don't feel safe anymore. You have to keep on looking around you. It is very, very deeply concerning, and it causes a lot of distress. And I think it's very good what the government is doing for our country at this moment.
The news from the President to say there will be more visibility of the police and the army, that will make us feel better and feel safe, because there's something happening in South Africa and action needs to be taken.
I'm so happy because there's too many crime in Cape Town. A lot of people die because of crime. So I'm so happy.
I'm very happy, 100% very happy, because you know what? Drugs, like people in the street, they make the street like dangerous, man.
The deployment plan for the army is still being finalized. Corbin August, SABC News, Cape Town.
Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has welcomed the announcement by President Cyril Ramaphosa to deploy the South African National Defence Force, SANDF, to gang-ridden areas in the province. The deployment is aimed at supporting the South African Police Service, SAPS, in efforts to clamp down on escalating gun violence that has continued to terrorize several communities. The decision comes as many areas, particularly on the Cape Flats, have experienced persistent shootings linked to gang activity. Communities such as Manenberg, Hanover Park, Delft, Bishop Lavis and Elsie's River have for years been affected by turf wars between rival gangs. often leaving innocent residents caught in the crossfire. Families have lost loved ones. Children have been exposed to violence at a young age, and businesses have struggled to operate in an atmosphere of fear and instability. Premier Winde said the deployment of the SANDF is a necessary step to restore stability and provide immediate relief to affected communities. He has consistently called for additional policing resources and stronger interventions from national government to address the ongoing crisis. While policing is a national competency, the provincial government has repeatedly expressed concern about the scale of violence and the need for more boots on the ground. President Ramaphosa's decision to authorize the SANDF deployment reflects growing concern over the level of gun violence in the Western Cape. The military is expected to assist police with patrols, roadblocks, and visible presence operations in high-risk areas. The SANDF will not replace the police, but will support SAPS by acting as a force multiplier, increasing security visibility, and helping to stabilize volatile communities. Residents in gang-affected areas have responded with cautious optimism. Some community leaders believe the presence of soldiers alongside police officers could deter criminals and provide a temporary sense of safety. For families who have endured repeated shootings in their neighborhoods, any intervention that promises calm is welcomed. Parents have often had to keep children indoors during violent clashes, and schools have occasionally suspended classes due to safety concerns. However, others have raised concerns about whether the deployment will offer a lasting solution. Previous military deployments in the Western Cape have had short-term impact, with violence sometimes resurging once troops were withdrawn. Community activists argue that enforcement alone cannot solve the deep-rooted socioeconomic challenges that fuel gang recruitment and criminal activity. Gang violence in the province is closely linked to unemployment, poverty, drug abuse, and limited economic opportunities. Many young people in affected communities face significant barriers to education and employment, making them vulnerable to gang influence. Experts say sustainable change will require comprehensive strategies that include youth development programs, job creation initiatives, substance abuse treatment services, and improved access to education. Law enforcement agencies have also faced criticism over resource shortages and investigative backlogs. Complex gang networks often rely on intimidation and witness tampering, making successful prosecutions difficult. The circulation of illegal firearms remains a significant driver of violence, with authorities acknowledging the need for stronger firearm control measures and improved intelligence operations to dismantle supply chains. The provincial government has previously invested in neighborhood safety initiatives and community policing support structures, but Premier Winde has maintained that more national support is essential. The relationship between provincial and national government on policing matters has at times been strained, with ongoing debates about resource allocation and oversight responsibilities. The SANDF deployment signals a more robust national response to the crisis. Soldiers are expected to operate within clearly defined legal parameters, supporting SAPS while respecting the rights of residents. Their presence is intended to stabilize hotspots, prevent further shootings, and allow police to conduct targeted operations against known gang members. Security analysts note that while military assistance can disrupt criminal activity temporarily, long-term success depends on effective intelligence gathering, coordinated law enforcement operations, and strong prosecution strategies. They stress that visible patrols may reduce incidents in the short term, but dismantling organized crime networks requires sustained effort. For communities living under the shadow of gang violence, the hope is that this intervention will bring meaningful relief. Many residents have called for consistent government action, not only during periods of heightened violence, but as part of an ongoing commitment to safety and development. As the SANDF begins its deployment alongside SAPS, authorities will be closely monitoring its impact. The effectiveness of the intervention will likely be measured by reductions in shooting incidents, arrests of key gang figures, and improved community confidence in law enforcement. Premier Winde has reiterated that restoring safety is a top priority and that collaboration between all spheres of government is crucial. President Ramaphosa's announcement marks a significant step in responding to widespread calls for stronger action against rampant gun violence in the Western Cape. Communities now wait to see whether this joint effort between the military and police can create not only immediate calm, but also pave the way for long-term solutions that address the root causes of gang activity and ensure lasting peace in affected neighborhoods.